Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Scuba. In this video I'm going to be taking a closer look at the Bear Ultrawarmth 5mm gloves. So 5mm gloves are very much the Goldilocks. You can wear them in pretty cold waters, but as far as thickness, there's always a trade-off between dexterity, because the thinner it is, then the more numb your hands are going to get cold. But if you have thicker gloves, then sure, your hands stay warm, but the gloves themselves are so thick that you can't feel what you're doing. So 5mm gloves are that kind of Goldilocks in the middle, where they still keep your hands pretty warm, and you have a decent amount of dexterity, so it's ticking a lot of boxes there. Obviously, I'd like to have a pair of them with me to physically show you. Unfortunately, with everything that's going on, I can't just nip to the warehouse and get one out of stock. As soon as things are a little bit sort of eased up, we will be doing those styles of product video again, trust me, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, hopefully we can sort of explain them as best we can. So the Ultrawarmth, what really makes these different from any other gloves is that internal lining. So this is OMNIRED. So OMNIRED is, it basically reflects heat back to your hands. So instead of heat just kind of radiating out of your hand, and then the neoprene kind of absorbs it and then kind of holds it there in the bubbles, before it gets to the neoprene, there's actually this OMNIRED material, and that actively sort of redirects it. It's like little mirrors, and they sort of bounce the heat directly back into your hands. It's very weird, but it is scientifically proven. It's not just magic. It sort of actively returns body heat back to you. There are a few other benefits to these gloves over sort of other gloves. So the first one is that it actually has an internal glide skin seal. So just sort of here, sort of below your wrist, there's actually going to be an internal glide skin ring, and that sort of helps to seal against your skin and slow water from actually traveling into the glove. The glove itself is ergonomically designed. Instead of being sort of really flat and rigid fingers, which kind of tire your hand out after a while, especially if they're cold, they're naturally like ergonomically designed to your sort of your comfortable, relaxed hand. You have this reinforced 3D material all over the palm, which gives you an added grip, especially when it's wet. So if you're holding onto things like a torch, they're much less likely to slip, especially when they're wet. And another feature that I quite like about these is that the palm actually continues up over the fingertips and actually protects the fingertips a little bit as well, whereas a lot of gloves go in the other direction, which can be quite uncomfortable, especially if you have fairly long fingernails. This is the opposite, so I just find them a bit more comfortable, and you don't have that seam that just runs sort of over the pad of your finger. Another thing about these seams is that these are blind stitched and double glued, so that means that water isn't going to naturally get straight through the seam. So actually when you first jump in, that combined with that glide skin sort of ring seal is actually going to mean that your hands are probably going to stay dry for a fair amount of time when you're actually under the water. It's going to take a few minutes for the water to finally seep in. So all in all, these are a nice pair of gloves. They're 5mm, so they're a good sort of all-rounder. You can dive these at home, sort of into fairly cold waters. And with that OMNIRED material, that internal lining, it's the bright orange kind of honeycomb color. Yeah, it's really going to keep your hands nice and warm, but you still maintain that dexterity. Obviously, you can wear these with wetsuit or dry suit, sort of whatever you prefer, and yeah, they're going to keep your hands nice and warm when the water starts to get cold. Check them out on the website simplyscuba.com. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.